Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. This is amazing. I love the energy in this room. So, I am a founder of Viva City. We are building a whole permanent new city, a charter city, to make death optional. We are creating a city within a special jurisdiction so we can accelerate innovation, especially when it comes to longevity and biotech, as that's the first thing we need, right? As long as we exist, then we're healthy, then we can flourish. We can do everything else, we can see the future, right? So that's what I'm most excited about. And when it comes to the future, there is no one else better to talk about that than the man that needs no introduction, Peter Diamandis.
Thank you, Lawrence, and thank you to Jacob and Christian for hosting me, and Max, one of my Strike Force members, who has been doing an amazing job. I want to give some context to the areas that I'm passionate about, and in particular, you know this, but this is the most extraordinary time ever to be alive. One of the challenges that all of you who are here in this frontier mindset are going to have is the fact that your parents, your brother, your sister, your friends are like, holy shit, aren't you scared shitless about what's going on? Shouldn't we be concerned about what's going on? And the fact of the matter is, our brains are wired for all of this fear all the time. And yes, there are problems, and yes, there will be struggles, but the fact of the matter is that the human mind and human purpose and passion overcomes those every single time. And your mission is, how do we use the best of technology across all exponentials to create an extraordinary future for humanity? We're at this amazing pivot point, right? It's like right here, right now. It's like there's no other time to be alive in this moment where we are budding as a species off the planet irreversibly. We're on the verge of a significant extension of the human health span and lifespan. We're giving birth to a new consciousness on this planet. We're giving birth to a new capability. I mean, what differentiates us from the Homo sapiens 200,000 years ago, evolving on the savannas of Africa, is in fact our intelligence and the tools that have come out of that level of intelligence. And when I think about, people say, what should my kids study in high school or college? And it's like, find a problem that you love, that you dearly want to solve, and then figure out how to apply increased intelligence to solve that problem. Because that's going to be the resource. Just like 100 years ago, we started applying electricity to everything that we did mechanically. We're going to begin to apply intelligence to everything we do with our own capabilities. The potential we have is nothing less than godlike. My next book, I wrote a book back in 2012 called Abundance, The Future is Better Than You Think. Some of you may have read it. It was my opening talk on the TED stage that year. They put me up against someone who said, the world is fucked, and I was like, no, the world is amazing, and it was a great conversation. The new book, which I'm writing with my co-author Stephen Kotler, is coming out, is called We Are as Gods. And the fact of the matter is, we have to realize that what we did between waking up this morning and the moment today, right now, is godlike across the board. Your ability to know anything, anytime, anywhere, around the planet, to have two-way video conferencing for free. It's extraordinary. The question is, what are you going to do with that power? What are you going to do with that capability? I teach the notion that each of us should have in our heart of hearts what I call a massive transformative purpose, an MTP. That thing that wakes you up in the morning and keeps you going through the day and powering through the night. And you're going to hit brick wall after brick wall after brick wall if you're trying to go big and go bold. But having that emotional energy connected to your massive transformative purpose is what keeps you picking yourself up off the floor and continuing, right? At 2 o'clock in the morning, when things are blurry and you just had like a really hard day, what is that guiding star that is your, sort of target? Where are you heading? So I'll ask you, do you know what your massive transformative purpose is? If you do, amazing. If you don't, that's your primary reason this next month, this next year. What is it that you're on this planet to do? I talk a lot about mindsets. One of my next books is called Mindset Mastery. And I want to take a second to speak about this because I think it's extraordinarily important. If you think about the greatest leaders on the planet, whoever they might be for you, whether it's Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, pick your favorite leader on the planet, and you ask yourself the question, what made them an amazing leader? Right? What made them able to lead at the level they led? Was it the money they had? Was it the technology they had? Was it the friends they had? Or maybe was it the mindset they had? Right? I hope you agree with me that their mindset is what enabled them to be so extraordinary. Right? Your mindset is how you deal with opportunities and how you deal with challenges. And so if mindset is the most important element for you to be a great leader, a great entrepreneur, great in whatever you want, my question for you then is, what mindset do you have? Where did you get that mindset, right? Was it from your family, your friends? Our brains are neural nets, right? They're constantly being shaped by everything we see, hear, feel, experience, read about, listen to. And so having the right mindset isn't a matter of happenstance. And so the next question is, what mindset do you need for the decade ahead? What mindset do you need to prosper in the decade ahead? And for me, I teach and think about a number of mindsets, so we can talk about that in the conversation, the questions, and so forth. The number one is a purpose-driven mindset, having a purpose that really wakes you up. And a purpose is an emotional energy. We are emotional beings. Like it or not, we're emotional beings. And having a purpose that is tied to either awe or amazement or pain, right? That I refuse to let that ever happen again on this planet or to someone else. Or like, I want to live and see the stars. Whatever end of the emotional spectrum, having that emotional connection to purpose is critical, right? An abundance mindset. An abundance mindset is that there is nothing scarce. There is nothing scarce. And technology is a force that takes whatever was scarce and makes it abundant. The simplistic notion is, if you have a pie and more people come over, instead of, slicing the pie into thinner and thinner slices, you bake more pies, right? That's the abundance mindset. And when you're in an abundance mindset, you're not in competition, because every year is going to bring more and more opportunities. There are more and more billion-dollar, trillion-dollar opportunities than ever before. And stop competing and stop let's go fucking hit that hill. Let's go make it happen. An exponential mindset, right? The realization that we are living in this crazy exponential world, and letting go of your linear thinking and truly focusing on, how do I go 10x or 100x bigger? How do I let go of the old way and start with a clean sheet of paper and say, I understand from first principle thinkings and the limitations of physics, this is what should be possible. How do we get there, right? The top thinker in that area is Elon, in terms of his first principle thinking on Starship and on batteries, whatever the case might be. But all of us are capable of letting go of those linear limitations. A longevity mindset. So I spend half my time in AI and half my time in longevity. They're both trillion-dollar marketplaces. A longevity mindset is a realization that for most of human history, our average lifespan was 30, right? You'd be going to puberty at age 12 or 13 on the savannas of Africa, and then you'd be pregnant by age 13 or 14. And then by the time you reach 27, 28, 29, you were a grandparent. And the last thing you wanted to do in a period of scarcity was steal food from your grandchildren's mouths, so you would die and give back your bits to the environment. And so our body, our physiology, has never evolved to live past age 30 consistently. Our hormone levels drop off, we undergo sarcopenia and bone loss and hormonal imbalances, right? We're in peak health. If those of you in the late 20s to early 30s, you're in peak health right now. And our body undergoes a physiological decline. But that's what evolution gave us. Doesn't mean that's what we need to retain. And it's this decade, right, that we're entering this health span revolution, principally from AI and a whole bunch of biotech, from single cell sequencing to gene therapies to CRISPR. we're going to take back our ability to understand why we age, how to slow it, stop it, reverse it. And having confidence in that, right, that notion of a longevity mindset, for me, is one of the most important things. Ultimately, a gratitude mindset, and during this period of AI, a curiosity mindset that keeps you curious, consistently wanting to learn, like, what does that mean? How do I do that? Where is that going? So mindsets are important. And finally, what I call a moonshot mindset. It's the realization that each of us here today have the ability to impact in a positive fashion the lives of 1 billion people. It's never been like that before. You'd have to have been, the head of a nation or the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar multinational to impact that many lives. But today, any one of you with the right idea and the platforms that we can use and build can impact the lives of 1 billion people. That's amazing. And if you can, why would you not want to in a positive sense? Right? So this moonshot mindset is critically important. So I invite you to think about these mindsets. Where are you in that? Which mindset is strong for you? Which you need to bolster? I'll tee that up. We can talk about AI, we can talk about longevity. Lawrence and I will go into that. I will mention selfishly that I am constantly recruiting, right? So I have a tier of people like Max, who's one of my strike force members who work with me very closely across everything I do for at least 2 years. And we go off and build companies together. I've had an amazing group of strike force members over the years. And then I'm recruiting research fellows to support me in the work I'm doing in longevity and AI. And if that's of interest to you, Max's email is max, M-A-X, @diamandis.com. Pop him an email and get in touch. Because I'm on a mission, and I invite those of you at the beginning of your journeys to join me on those missions. Again, I wake up every day just absolutely excited for what's possible. The world of possibility here is extraordinary. Sorry, Marcus.
It's calling. The world of possibility is calling.
Yes. All right. Yes, more than the feeling, exactly. Takes you back to college. All right. So, Lawrence, that's my warm-up softball to you. Take it away, buddy.
Thank you.